If I were to build a new sales rep from scratch, no experience, just stepping into the industry, here's exactly how I would do it. In this video, I'm gonna walk you through the 5 core skills that every beginner needs to master if they wanna close deals consistently. From handling objections, to price conditioning, to building trust faster in the home. By the end of this video, you will know exactly where to focus so that you don't waste months guessing what works. Number 1, master the process, which is the system. And we look at this in 3 different stages. So if I'm looking at a brand new sales rep, I need them to be competent first. Then we go into mastery, and then we help them go pro. But first, we have to be competent. This includes objection handling, price conditioning, presenting, and everything in between. But when we look at the process, this process, and I don't care what process you use, most sales processes are all the same. They just use a bunch of different words. But you need to master it. And when I say master it, you can't just know it. You can't just remember it. You can't just have it in your head. It has to be so ingrained in your mind that you don't have to think about it. And so that when I'm working with a homeowner, when I'm working with a client, it's just there. It's second nature. It's like driving my car down the street. I don't know how I got down the street, but I know that I got there safely, right? I do everything the same way. And you need to do the same thing with your process. Those of you that are sales leaders, this is how you train your reps. Train them to be competent first. And when I say competent, that they need to know everything. Inside of Top Rep, we have this thing called a key competency list. This is how we know that they know everything that they need to know before we get them to the point where they've mastered it. As they go through it, we can even grade every piece and part of that process to figure out what do they know really well and what do they need to work on. Now that they're competent with it, now we're gonna go to mastery, and this is typically our second set of 30 days. So it's our 30 to 60 day, and we are going to work on emotion. We're gonna take that competent, and then we're gonna turn it into an emotional journey for them so that it's not something that comes out scripted. And you need to understand that you will be scripting certain parts of your process. And then once you get to mastery, that's where it starts to feel like it's not scripted, even though they say the exact same thing in every house. And then we go pro. When you go pro, and that's usually your 60 to 90 day, when you go pro, that means you understand who you're talking to, and you can change a little bit of how you talk so that it's given to somebody that's either a director, socializer, relator, or maybe even a thinker. That is how we master the process. Number 2, detach from the outcome. So when I say detach from the outcome, there's so many times when you will hear always be closing. In your sales rep's mind that they've got to be closing, got to be closing, got to be closing, got to be selling, got to be selling, got to be selling. That is the wrong thing you want in your sales rep's mind. Have them do their job. When they get to the house, how are they going to gain rapport? How are they going to gain rapport if all they're thinking of is always be closing? Do your process the way you are being taught, which means I'm going to go in, I'm going to get rapport. I'm going to ask the right questions. Then I'm going to go through my inspection. When I get back from my inspection, you know your process. And while you're going through it, the one thing you're not thinking of every 2 minutes is, am I closing? I gotta close them down. I gotta get my tie down. Do your job. And then at the end, detach from the outcome. And what I mean by detach from the outcome is when you're presenting price, present that price in such a way that you don't care whether they do business with you or not. Again, this is where you have to watch your excitement. Maybe throughout this whole process, this person, this lady just can't wait. She even has her checkbook on the table, and you cannot wait to give your price so that you can collect. And then you skip a couple of steps because she has her checkbook there, and you jump right into the price, and she backs up and says, wow, I didn't know that it was going to be that much. She did that because you got too excited and you skip steps. Then when they give you some resistance, and a majority of the people you talk to, I don't care what trainer you talk to. They're going to talk about how you can annihilate these objections. You can, or you can try, but you still need to understand how to deal with the resistance when it comes. And when that does come, don't get surprised. Don't get upset. Just detach yourself from the outcome and do your job. Number 3, the sales conversation. This is so very important, is understanding how to have a conversation with a homeowner or how to have a conversation with a client or potential client. This is where we really bring in the tone of the meeting, your tone. There are 3 major tones that you will use. The first tone is your fun tone. You won't use that a lot, okay? You're probably going to use that fun tone when you're gaining rapport. This is where you got a big smile on your face. You're talking about things that the homeowner likes to talk about, not what you like to talk about. Remember, first and foremost, that homeowner, there's one thing they don't care about. That's you. And number 2 is understanding of the confidence. And you want to be confident when you're presenting the price, when you're presenting your product, when you're going through the solution, that you need to be confident. When somebody's presenting anything to you and they're like, well, but if it would have been like this, and if we can fix this, I'm not buying, because I don't even think you are buying into it. But if you're speaking out of your gut and it's coming out and it has a little bit of power behind it, they know that you actually believe in what you're saying. People buy from people they trust, believe, and remember. And then, of course, your compassionate tone. When they ask a question or when you deliver the price and they give you a little bit of resistance. This is where we do what we call smoking the homeowner. Now, when I say smoking the homeowner, it's like smoking meat. You go low and slow. I'm going to go from this, I'm presenting my price, to them telling me that everything looks good, but they need to think about it. Now I'm going to go all the way down, almost to a whisper, and I'm going to slow things down. And while I'm going through this tone, I'm also going to put pauses, okay? So understand tone and pause, okay? Now pause, I want you to understand one thing, and that is that silence is a closer's secret weapon. I'm going to say this again, and I want you to write it down, is that silence is a closer's secret weapon. So when you put pauses in there, it does many things. One of the big things that you want it to do for you is you want something important to sink in. You also get them to lean in. If I'm going to pause, what you will notice if they're really engaged with you is that they start to lean in really slowly. That means that they're engaged. When you pause, you are also taking their temperature, their buying temperature, and watch what's going on when you take that pause. So when they say, Chuck, everything looks good, you're really just going to have to give us some time. I totally understand, Bobby. And so how much time do you need? Oh, we'll know by Friday. Wow. Okay. So you guys really are serious about this. Am I right? Yeah. And is this the system that you want on your house? Yeah. And are we the company that you would trust to do it right the first time? Of course. So I'm guessing that when that time comes, that the only thing that's going to hold us back, it's going to be the money, right? Yeah. But if I went like this, if this was more inside of I'm going to stay confident or I'm going to regurgitate a script, oh, I totally understand. How long would you guys need to think about this? Now it's fight or flight. So on this one, this last one, I'm pushing. On the first one, I'm pulling them in. And all I'm doing is I'm lowering my tone and I'm slowing down and I'm putting some silence or I'm putting some pause in there. So if you're serious about sales, this one skill alone can change your income. Stick around for the last skill because it's the one that separates average reps from top closers. All right, let's get back to this. Number 4, never lose technique in the house. Always know what to say. The customers are always going to have questions for you. And I'm gonna give you a little bit of a surprise, is that they're always the same questions. You almost have to act surprised when you hear them because it will be the 100th time that you've heard that question. We call these dumb problems, is when you get a question and you have heard this question 10, 15, 20 times and you still don't know the answer. Remember, write that down and figure it out so that the next time you get it, you know the answer. But I'm going to go right back to this, is never lose technique, always know what to say. We're actually going to do a separate video on how you can practice this in secret if you click the link above right here. And lastly, the final point. This is the one that everyone has been waiting for: emotional intelligence. Now, over the last 20 years, I have studied emotional intelligence. And there's one reason why I have spent 20 years studying emotional intelligence, and that is because every top sales performer in the world, and I don't care what it is they sell, if there's one skill that they are better at than anybody else, it's EQ, or emotional intelligence. Now, when we talk about emotional intelligence, it's understanding your emotions and understanding what's going on across the table or through the phone. Because emotions, people buy with emotion, right? And so when you can control your emotion, when that homeowner starts to get excited, it's easy for you to get excited. One of the worst things you can ever do is get excited inside of the sales presentation. Because when you get excited, it actually turns a homeowner off. Now, we have been told over and over by sales trainers that we need to get excited about our product. If you were to get excited about your product, it actually turns the homeowners off. What I want you to do is calm your emotions in certain times when they need to be calmed, and you can bring your emotions up or get a little passionate when you need to. One of the number one times to keep your emotions in check is when we give price. When we give price, we're actually going to hold empathy back, and we're keeping our emotions down, but we're bringing that confident tone out. If you go low and slow, I don't care how upset the person is on the other side of the table, if you go low and slow, you can actually bring the mood in the room down. You can bring negativity, you can bring anxiety, and you can bring that mood down and control that mood and bring it back to a successful sale. But that is how important emotional intelligence is. Again, we will be doing a separate video on understanding emotional intelligence. We also do it inside of our flight school. So master the process and never get derailed, because you always know what to say next. If you master the process, you don't have to remember it, and you can listen to the process and react appropriately. Success starts with knowing the process and sticking to the process consistently. We make it hard by trying to read the prospect and the situation. Stop. Even understanding who you're talking to has a system. We answer all your comments and help provide you with the clarity and training. Just drop a comment. Which skill are you going to master first? A majority of you aren't yet subscribers, so please subscribe to my channel so that you can keep this information going. Some of you are also inside of a team, so what I'd love for you to do is share this with people on your team so that they can see it as well. I look forward to seeing you on the next video.